Don't look pissed. What the hell just happened? Welcome to Curiosity Public. My name is Dutch.
My name is Jules.
Hold for applause. Happy Angel Dylan. Applause.
Oh, I can put some applause in there. That's actually easy to do.
Good job.
Yeah.
Do the snow clap.
This is like Jules sitting on this. All right, well, welcome to yet another episode of our Ultimate Spirits Competition, our quest to review every sipping spirit on the face of the planet and subject it to our crazy hard 100-point scoring system. In this episode, we're going to the Tropics. Now, where you're from?
Jefferson's airplane.
Aren't you from the Tropics?
Jefferson's boat.
Wow.
This is what the bottle looks like, aged in humidity. I almost said humanity.
Yeah.
It's fully matured Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey that they put on a ship and they take them to Singapore. And they stay there in the high heat and humidity for a while. I don't know how long.
I think it's 18 months.
Yeah. Proof point, 104 proof. The little booklet here, I think, does have some of that info about it. And so May 2021, they shipped a limited number of barrels of fully mature Kentucky bourbon to Singapore, 85 miles north of the equator, for an 18-month aging process. So there you go. It doesn't say how old the bourbon was before they shipped it off.
But they said it's fully matured, so...
I mean,
Yeah, what?
at least 2 years?
3, 4 years? 4 years?
Pass your glass down. Do you have any other info on this? I mean, this is just the latest idea.
I mean, I think we were one of the first people to go on these journeys with the Jefferson Ocean.
Weird.
They had 720 barrels on a ship, and they took it over there. So it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a huge release. Retails $100.
Expensive.
Yeah, expensive. The question is, this hyper aging due to, different barometric pressure and humidity. Is it going to give it kind of a different take? So hats off, though, because this is not like finished in, right? A sweet something. This is more, we're going to finish it
on a boat near Singapore.
in another country.
Yeah.
Right?
In a high humidity in the tropics. I mean, it's fascinating, actually, because we know that kind of stuff affects the interactions between the barrel and the distillate are.
Yeah.
And there's certain areas, like think about all the Taiwanese whiskeys that have very interesting characteristics as they mature versus places aged in cold places like Scotland.
Right.
It's fascinating, and I'm glad we get to kind of taste this and see what happens when you have those, the high humidity and the high heat. So
you should go find that island where Gilligan used to live.
Just set up a distillery.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
3-hour tour.
Let's do that. You couldn't call it bourbon though.
No, you can send it with a fully matured bourbon.
Kentucky, and then just have your warehouse.
And then have Gilligan take it in his boat and then get stranded.
So maybe we're gonna have a rise of Florida distilleries next. In the high heat humidity,
Interesting.
Maybe, I don't know.
Interesting.
All right, guys, let's get tasting. Interesting.
I mean, this is not the first time I've tried this.
Yeah.
Was the first time you've really analyzed it?
Yeah. All right, so Gilligan's Island. Who's who? Gilligan? Professor?
I'm the drunk captain.
He's Marianne.
Oh, yeah.
He's Ensign Ricky. Who fell off the boat.
I mean, really, he's the skipper.
He's not the skipper. God.
I know I'm back in.
Jules the toady, man. Oh yeah, Dutch is the queen of summertime, and descended from General Lafayette, and it's like, what?
The queen of summertime.
God. Toady.
I like the things that go on and don't. I like how he thinks of me as the queen of summertime.
I didn't say he's royalty. You did.
Right, he made the whole thing up.
Exactly.
All right, we've had some time to taste. We've all scored it independently. We haven't discussed our scores yet. We're going to do that in a second. First, Jules is going to tell you about our scoring system.
Thanks, Dutch. They go from 100 points across 10 categories. They include aroma, flavor, body, complexity, balance, finish, uniqueness, drinkability, aesthetics, and value. You can medal in our competition. If you score 16 up, go from bronze, silver, gold to diamond.
All right, initial scores. Of course, as we discuss it, we could go up, we could go down. We'll see how it goes. My initial score, 70.
68.
71.
Wow. All right.
So we're very
Pretty close.
clustered. Okay. I think we all had a pretty similar experience with this one, actually, so it'd be a fun one to talk through.
Yeah.
Aroma, 7.
7.
8. I went up from a 7. Best part.
I see that. I see
It
that.
opened up.
the best part.
I gotta say,
It smells
But
like
even though it got better, the ethanol hit for me still just strong.
I don't know
couldn't
about
get
that.
by the fact that it just smelled like
Sour.
MGP, like 7-year-old MGP
No.
to me.
No.
Like I got those
No.
distinct notes.
No. I think I'm gonna tell you the really distinct part of this is the vanillin. The vanillin that was extracted from the wood is really front and center. But I didn't come to that until later when it started to open up more. I thought that was going to translate to the flavor, which we'll get to, but it didn't. This was the best part. I have to give really an extra point for that. The other thing is that the wood component is not overwhelming. There's no sour aroma.
The nose is nice, but
It has
it's not
good representation of the jam and the stewed fruits. Maybe not enough floral, but that vanilla component or the vanillin is.
There's a hint of floral.
really there.
But again, for me, it's just like the ethanol just...
And the smell of vanillin.
But it's like a very normal smelling whiskey. It doesn't smell special. It smells very like basic but good. But nothing. I couldn't get that elevation.
I think it's a little bit more. It's
pretty
a little
elevated.
bit better because I think this is where
is
that
elevated.
extraction. I think this is where the humidity actually worked. I think
I
this is
agree.
where the Singapore smell actually is there.
All right, well, let's get a Singapore sling and move on to flavor. 17.
16.
16.
Yeah,
I see that.
I agree with you.
The reason I am a little bit higher, and I thought about going down actually, but I didn't because I actually think the depth of the flavors is pretty good. The flavors aren't that great. The main thing here is the oak. Really, the oak is very prominent to me. It's
I'm really
not,
close to going down to 15.
It's not
'Cause the
tannic.
oak is really...
But I liked
It's
that
true,
it wasn't
it's not-
tannic.
it's not
like I
tannic,
didn't.
it's
So here's what's interesting: is like I liked the oak in the center part of the palate. It got really bad on the finish. But like if I'm just analyzing the actual flavors, I thought the oak was represented well. The spices are really nice. The fruits are nice. They're all pretty deep.
Oak. I don't think oak is the problem here. I think
I didn't
it's
say it's the problem.
It's just
not
the
the problem
depth
on the
of flavor.
Yeah.
The depth of flavor
just like
is
skimming
missing.
the surface
Yeah, it's
too
really.
much.
That's
You know
right.
what I
That's a
mean? It's
very
like- yeah.
good job. It's like skimming the surface, right? Yeah.
The oak is deep though. I mean, the oak is really deep to me. Like you get a full oak, like experience here without it being tannic in the front end of the palate. I mean, that's pretty impressive to me because usually I'm turned off by that. Usually it gets tannic, but it really doesn't on this. It gets sour
everything
on the
else
finish, but we'll get to finish.
You know
but, like,
what?
definitely
You know
on the
what? You convinced me. I'm gonna go down. 15.
Well, I think this is an interesting
Because we
thing.
are just skimming.
Yeah, it's just skimming.
It's like, yeah.
The fruits are
Thin.
very light. I agree there.
Very thin.
But I think I'm having a revelation now as to why
I
this
go
is
down too.
An epiphany
as to why there's a lot of commentators who are loving this right now.
Yeah.
because it's thin.
No.
of the
It's
oak.
the oak because
Yeah.
it's the same reason people love the Jack 12. It's the unbalanced oak.
I mean, people like sucking wood.
I know, but that's why I'm saying I think that's why people think this is so good. I mean, and if you love that oaky experience, I think you're gonna like it. But I don't know. I don't tend to love it. So
I like a balance.
It's not an oak bomb, though. That's the thing. I
think it
Like,
is.
I feel
The
like it's
upfront
such a
oak flavor?
scratchy-
No, it's thin. Even that is thin. It's
That's
like
my
it's
point.
so
It's like
wanting.
it's so thin.
taste
Yeah.
it again. Like the first third of the palate is like I get a ton of oak, and then it turns sour in the finish. But just focus on the first third. Like it's
Thin.
Thin.
Thin. Yeah.
And then the sour.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, okay, now I'm really...
Yeah. So
speaking of-
15.
I think I'll go down
Yeah.
too.
speaking of thin. Let's move to body.
Wow.
Actually, I gave it a 7. I thought it was okay.
Is he like body
What?
shaming?
I gave it a 7. What'd you give it?
This is a 6, dude.
I gave it a 7.
Yeah, it's a 7.
But you know
No.
what? You're convincing me,
it's
sir.
so thin, right?
Yeah.
It's so
a 6.
thin.
You're right. It's a 6.
Let's body shame this. It's a 6.
Yeah, it's a 6.
Next category, complexity 7.
7.
Really? I give it a 6.
There's a lot of sourness.
There's a lot of different components.
Yeah, it's like Sour Patch Kids.
Again, we're just skimming stuff, so it's
that's
like,
not this category. This is complexity. There are a lot of different flavor
they're
components.
there, but like, yeah, you got to tease it out though.
Not at all, dude.
You got to work.
Clear oak, clear sour, clear fruits. They're just not very deep. The oak is deep to me.
But I mean, I don't know if it's clear. It is fruity,
How many flavor components do you get?
but
Man, the finish is
it's just terrible.
killing me right now.
Yeah,
All right, I'm going down. On
fine. You convince me. I'll go up.
On complexity?
Yeah, because I ain't.
Yeah,
even though it's not deep. That's what it is.
You're right.
Hitting
But that's where you knock it on flavor.
Yeah.
You
You're
know,
right.
the complexity is pretty decent here, I think. Balance, I gave it a 6.
6.
To me, the oak is way too prominent. The
You're right.
sourness is.
I'll go down.
Only oak.
I gave it a
sour, of course
7,
you
but
did.
you're right.
You're gonna be 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Oh wait, I went down.
I think finish. I might
Yeah,
go down again.
Well, let's go to finish. Let's just jump there.
Yeah,
'Cause,
yeah.
I mean, that's next up. I mean, I gave it a 6.
I gave it a 6.
I give it a 6.
I gave it a 6.
But I'm
That's
tempted
like
to go to 5.
Yeah.
'cause
Well,
it's so
I
freaking
was too,
sour.
but it's because of the length. Honestly,
That's a good
Like,
one.
are people reviewing this
it's-
like they
it's-
do in Cigar Aficionado, where they just smoke like a centimeter of it and go, "I declare
this
this
is
the
so
best
good.
thing ever."
That's what
and they don't
that's
even
what I'm
get the
getting at.
hair
Yeah.
at the end. I mean, like, this is insane.
Yeah.
the upfront flavors are good, and then the nose is good, but then everything kind of
It
like
crash and burns
yeah.
on the finish.
Like, do people like go like this and then spit it out?
The
And
irony
that's why
is-
they get that.
is like as it opens up, the finish gets worse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause it becomes
yeah.
more sour.
Yeah, and that helps you kind of analyze the complexity and
It's so weird.
Oh, it
I
does.
just
It
tasted
impacts
it
it for
again,
me.
and it's literally like it's almost not even the first third. It's like the first quarter. You get all these flavors, and then like almost immediately everything kind of
Washes away.
washes away into the sourness.
Yeah.
and the
Like
wood.
it's getting worse.
It's weird. It's not tannic per se.
No,
it's
not
a lot
tannic.
of sourness.
It's a lot of sourness. Yeah, it's
like
and
that's like raw wood, raw unaged wood.
yes. It's very woody, but it's not
Yeah, you're convincing me to
tannic.
go down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go down in flavor. It's gotten worse. It's gotten worse.
Well, I'm at 15 for flavor. So are you going down to 15?
No,
I'm
I'm
going
talking
to-
about finish. I'm
I'm
going to
going
go
to
down. I'm at a 6 right now. I'm tempted to go to
The
5.
finish, yeah, I'm 6, but like
That's just for duration.
I would say
but
the
I'd say
reason
this-
I'm not at
But it's not
5
pleasant.
It's not
pleasant.
It's okay.
It's not unpleasant though.
Yeah, it's not unpleasant.
Yeah, it's not.
It's like having like a Sour Patch Kid or something. Like like it's
yeah,
not, it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
bad.
For
it's
the
just
time
not,
it's there, like cool.
it's not necessarily what you want, but it's not bad.
You know what's
All right,
interesting
I'll
about
hold.
this also is that the finish reminds me of some of these kind of very young American whiskey, like a non-corn based.
I would agree with that.
And you get this kind of finish, similar finish
just
as
the
well.
raw thing,
Yeah, yeah.
the rawness.
All right, guys. Next category: uniqueness. It's very unique. I give it an 8.
I gave it a
an
7.
8. I gave it an 8.
I gave it a 7.
Bonus
Very
2
unique.
points for the story.
I gave it a 7
and
because
the process.
I mean, I'm legit intrigued by this. I
too.
found this
I
very
think it's-
interesting.
yeah.
It's very academic, and
No,
I give it the points. So
I
far.
would say I
Same.
appreciated kind of the earlier voyages for Oceans.
like
11.
Oceans 11 and Oceans 13.
13.
Yeah. But 12 wasn't that great. But now we're at
We'll just forget that
now
security
we're like
thing.
Ocean's 8, and then it got and then we're not. What?
I don't
What?
think
There's no 9 or a 10, right?
Oh.
There's no 9 or a 10, so
This guy.
the market speaks. But I'm just saying, it's a 7 in that. Yes, okay, they aged it in Singapore, but like
I think it's pretty unique. I think the bottle actually is a nice looking one. It's got the
it's
more
the
unique thing.
Oceans.
It's got the sun.
It's Jefferson's Ocean.
No, but it says Tropics.
Tropics.
Jules
He's in
loves the
Singapore.
Tropics, man.
Yeah.
He is from the tropics.
I know. So,
I remember landing in his motherland and someone handing me a coconut or a coconut.
all right, guys. Next category: drinkability. I give it a 7.
I'm gonna go down.
I'm gonna
give
go
it a
down
6.
I gave it a 7,
I
but
think-
I'm going down.
I think 6 is right. It's getting just too sour for me.
Yeah,
All right, final 2 categories are non-flavor
man, I
discussion.
went down a lot.
Yeah, dude. So did I. Aesthetics 3.
This is where I gave it a 4.
I give it a 5.
For it,
Look at this.
I gave it there in
Look at the
uniqueness.
presentation. No, I give it a 5, man. I mean, look at that.
It's the same bottle that they've always used.
Yeah, but like
I like how you
Tropics
said that
stands out.
earlier.
I know. Tropics stands out.
It's like, oh, you know, it has a different word.
No. Like the flair is different, but it's like the same design. Like I feel like
That's a
its
different-
design points are not as high, but it is a unique version of the design. So that's why it goes to uniqueness.
So
But it's not the actual design.
Okay,
The design's the same.
Okay.
The overall design is the same.
No, you know what? I will say
if it works out in your head.
It works for me.
the first time I tried this was actually Trey pouring it for me, right?
And you told him you loved it. I remember.
No, I didn't.
I'm just kidding.
And I said, oh, is this Jefferson's Ocean? And it's like, no, it's Jefferson's Tropic. And so I mean, like, it's
So
a
what
good
does that
bottle,
mean?
but it's not
So
a
you just
5.
exchange titles.
But it's not a 5.
It's not a 5.
It's a 5 on aesthetics?
No.
Are you guys crazy?
I understand the 4.
This is going to stand out in a Jefferson's lineup. That alone. Boom.
You got to look pretty close.
5 points.
There's so many of them.
Not with Tropics. Look at that word right there.
You don't
All right.
go to liquor stores.
You don't go to liquor store.
That's true. But I look at our studio shelf.
All right, guys. Final category: value. Over $100. I gave it a 2 just for the academics of it.
Me too.
I gave it a 2, but I'm thinking about going down.
But I'm thinking it's going down. But I think it's a
yeah,
2.
you know what?
It's still
No,
a
there's no way this is a 2. I'm going down to 1.
Here's my question: Is this better than a $100 craft whiskey?
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's actually kind of more interesting, and I think
But
it's.
for $100,
But think about all the work that
but
goes
all
into
the work
this.
that goes into
Like,
it, dude.
The oil, the gas
all
costs.
man.
right, all
I
right.
mean, like for
Dude,
what you're getting.
Panama Canal fees are up, all right? So
I
they gotta get through
actually,
that sucker.
I actually understand this release.
Yeah.
Pricing wise.
2 holds. Two's reasonable.
Fine, Panama. You know,
What,
they
you
need to
just
widen
taking
that
it
thing. Yeah, keep it at 2.
All right. Well, let's
All
get.
right, you convinced me with the Panama, man. yeah, the gas costs.
I knew that'd get them, man.
They gotta get
You
that
know,
like
there's
you know,
not
that,
enough water,
That tugboat.
you know.
They gotta pull that sucker in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Let's get our
All those
final.
going through those locks.
Final
Every one of
scores.
those like what, $10?
I ended up at a 67.
68.
66.
Which
What?
gives
How
us
did I end up highest?
our official Curiosity Public score, which was my score, 67.
Hilarious. This was a hilarious exploration.
It's just weird, man. I'm surprised how much it changed from like first sip to last sip. Like it really got worse as the more you sip.
It's got more sour.
Which makes me kind of want to go down in drinkability now, but I'm gonna keep it. I think
It's locked.
we had enough discussion. Interesting one. Jules, take us out.
Tell us what you guys think in the comments below. Give us a thumbs up, thumbs down. Either way, let us know. Subscribe for more videos from Curiosity Public. If you want to help us out, please consider joining Curiosity Private membership program on Patreon and YouTube. We're also selling t-shirts. Links in the description as always. And we have a podcast on all the major platforms. As always, stay safe, stay healthy.
Stay curious. Another epiphany. This is why Texas bourbon's not good.
Yeah, I know.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
How is that an epiphany? I said
No, but this shares that some of those characteristics. I think.
characters.
Yeah, but you know what? It doesn't have the grain.
Well, those are even younger because it gets even hotter.
Hotter.
Right.
And it's just. But I think.
I mean, I like
humid.
I like the thinking on it. I mean, like I gotta say, hats off to Trey saying, you know, the problem with Texas and actually just
Well,
whiskeys
and
in these
whiskeys,
climates
yeah.
where they say, oh, there's like hyper aging, right?
Yeah.
The flaw is that they just don't have enough time to get the grain out. But here, what he
take
did was he
time.
took the
Took
grain
age,
out
yep, and then-
and he thought,
right.
oh, maybe I can extract more flavor. But what ended up happening was with
much-
that flavor,
too much oak.
all that sourness and
Well, it's almost
and
like it applied too quickly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just,
Well, what would have been really interesting was, I don't know if he changed barrels or kept it in the original barrels.
I just put it on.
Because if it's the same barrels, I understand that you're going to keep getting more and more. But like, what if you took it out of the new char, put it in an uncharred oak barrel, and stuck it in the tropics for a while?
oof.
You don't think so?
That would be sour.
Oh, yeah, sour.
Think it'd be more sour?
Humidity? Come on.
You go to
Playing on
Home
it.
Depot, right? Go suck on that wood.
He loves the lumber department.
I don't think I like the suck on wood as much as you guys do.
I don't know about that. Comment below.
Comment below.